Hey guys, Coach Simpson back again. This is my belly series I've been going through this week. And so yesterday kind of gave the overview, the general idea of how we run our belly. Today I'm going to talk about RPOs that we run off of this. And these are RPOs that you can marry with other plays. You know, we've tried to marry these RPOs with our zone game. When we started running a little bit of zone this year, we've married it with buck sweep in the past where I've been. So whatever you run, these RPOs should be able to pair with. So if you're a guy who's interested in studying, or geniuses out there, we're taking bits and pieces from them, try to put them together. We're going to focus today on backside RPOs that you can run off of the belly play. If you want to see the general way we run belly, again, you can go back and watch yesterday's video, or I'll be doing more this week on how we run it, how we block it. We're going to focus today on backside stuff. Again, if you haven't done so, really would appreciate if you would subscribe to my channel. All you gotta do is click the button down below. And once I get to 1,000, I'm able to do YouTube lives. And that's kind of one of my goals, is to be able to do a few of these live and answer questions people may have. If you have other questions, you can reach out and email me, fbcoachsimpson@gmail.com, or go to my website, fbcoachsimpson.com. But I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and talk about the way we want to run belly and the RPOs we want to run from that. So basically, when we're running anything, we want to be able to read everything on the backside. So our goal on any run we have strong is to limit the amount of players that can make plays off of the backside. Because we are so heavy in pin and pull, we've got to protect ourselves from that gap. You're creating a gap when you pin and pull, so you got to kind of have protections built in there. Usually, in my experience, inside runs, a lot of times that tackle is being made by the backside players or just getting whipped up front. And whipped up front, you got to handle just through drills, technique, and all that work. Scheme, I think, can take care of a lot of the backside issues you may have. So we're going to try to run very similar RPOs that we would on our butt game. We will with our belly series. You know, this year at Searcy, I started running some zone, and so we started using some of these. We've got a few other kind of little wrinkles that we do as well that are pretty neat. If you want to know about those, just shoot me an email and I'll try to give you a few of those, but still things we're kind of developing as we go. And a lot of this stuff was trial and error. You know, we didn't know how to block that guy, so we read him. We didn't know how to handle this, so we came up with an RPO. And so that's kind of where some of this stuff came from. So here's the different RPOs we're going to run and the problem guys we want to answer. If you got a backside 4-eye or a 3, so that's that B gap defensive lineman, maybe the guy that's just shooting across in your guy's face, you know, real hard time blocking him, or you're playing an under front, you got a 5 and a 3 on the backside. Those are hard to block. And so this is one read we will do, we call it steal. Okay, we got that from a guy in Montana. He paired it with his buck. We've started pairing it with everything we run. We really like it. Peak. So the backside inside linebacker, there's 2 ways we can read him. If you got a thrower at quarterback, we like to run our peak or kind of a spot concept. If you got a runner at quarterback, we call it something else, and he'll read it and he'll run it, reading that guy. And then we have a read technique that we're just going to simply read that backside 5. Guys that run outside zone, watch the NFL now, it's become the thing to do now, every level on any run, read that backside 5, he squeezes, you know, we're going to go. So here's a couple clips of the ones that maybe aren't as popular. This is back at Southside. So steal for us, we're going to read this backside 5 or 4-eye right here. He's kind of 4, he's a pincher. You know, we get a lot of teams that are going to play 3 fronts, and because we have tight end wing attached, you can pretty much guarantee they're going to slant to the strength. And so you kind of know that. So you build in your call for, okay, if he slants, we're going to read him. So I'm going to go ahead and play this clip. Okay, and there's the slanter. There he is. Quarterback's eyes are on him. You know, there's lots of ways you can teach this. Guys that read zone read teach it different ways. I try not to overcoach it a whole lot. You know, we basically tell a running back, assume you always have the ball. We tell the quarterback, depending on athletic ability, you know, can he tackle you or not? You know, because when you pull that, you can see the gap we're opening up here. So you just got to, however you want to teach that. You got to rep it a bunch, but how you want to talk to your verbiage probably depends on which one of them is better. Running back's better. You want to hand it to him. You might tell your quarterback, hey, if you think that guy can tackle the running back, pull it. If you think your quarterback is kind of your guy, then you might just tell him, hey, if you don't think that guy can tackle, you just yank it and go. So just different ways you can teach him. But so there's your read. We pull it. You see the hole that opens up. That's a safety coming in there, making a play late. But you kind of see something we're repping in practice during our inside drill. I did a practice session before, but basically we're doing inside here, and down there our skill guys are working some kind of route concept. Okay, quarterback pulls it, and there he goes. That's our steal concept. It's a pretty simple read for us. Okay, if he were to come here and hang on the quarterback, we're going to hand the ball, and you can see the hole we've created over here running belly. Okay, that's steal. All right. Second one is our peek. Okay, so now we're going to read this inside backer right here. Okay, now we're going to run belly here, and this guy's the read. So the quarterback's eyes are watching him. This guy, I think, triggers really, really fast. Okay, triggers fast, and we're just going to throw the ball right where he came from. Obviously, get an explosive play. Usually, in my experience, you start playing with RPOs. First level RPOs where you're reading these guys are good. Not going to be just huge explosive plays. You start reading these guys, more explosive. You start reading that third level, the safety type guys, those are giant plays, but they also get harder to read. So just understand this kid was a 2-year starter for us. That's a tougher read for some kids than others. So just kind of be aware of that. That's our peak. Okay. If we wanted to read, we would call a different call where we can read this guy and have the quarterback pull it to run it, because you can see we threw it in the gap that was created there. But you could also read him if he collapses and run it kind of out that back door. All right. Here it is again. Tomorrow, or I think in a couple of days, I'm going to talk about different looks. So actually, this is one of them. So this is a formation adjustment. We like belly a lot because we can run it with trips. And that's to me, this is one of the toughest formations for a defense to line up against. You have a tight end, and you got trips on the other side. Because they're really, unless you're a divorced front and back end team, hard to line up to those 4-2-5 teams. They don't like this set. So we like to get in this set a bunch, because now, I got a corner up here playing 4, so I want to run buck or belly at him, or do I want to play here? And are they going to take this Sam, Mike, whatever, and move him, probably a Mike, and move him out of the box? If not, we're going to run peak, but now we're going to run it with our number 3 receiver to get this guy out of the box. So now the read goes right there. So now, you might have worked all week with your will playing the RPO. Well, by formation, now I'm making you play your RPO with your Sam or Mike, who may not have got as many reps. Okay, but for us, same read. So we're just going to call belly. We're going to read the peak. There's our read. Okay, right here. If this guy collapsed like he does, throw it right there. Okay, and you're off to the races. Now, great kid for me, but he ain't out running those DBs. But you kind of see the idea there. Again, same exact read for us. Going to run belly right here, and we're going to read this kid right here. If he takes a step inside, boom, you put it on him. Okay. All right. And then the last one, I think same deal here. We're going to run peak, same look, but we don't throw it. So we've talked to our quarterbacks a lot about this, because usually you start giving the ability to throw it, and then they're going to want to chunk it. But we try to talk a lot about how, hey, look, even if you don't throw it, we're going to occupy guys like this. He's going to be a little more hesitant. This one right here is going to be way more hesitant coming there, because if he does collapse, we'll throw it behind his ear hole. Well, now, because he kind of has to bounce around back here, you can see the hole we've created. He made the tackle, but we got 15 yards. So even though we didn't throw it, we created what we wanted. Okay. All right, guys. If you have not already, I'd appreciate if you would like and subscribe to this channel. You can also get in touch with me with any of these means. Tomorrow, I'm going to talk about adjustments in our blocking scheme. We'll go a little farther, different clips on it. The belly to us is a huge play. I've got a huge full presentation on it on my website. You can go fbcoachsimpson.com. I actually have a whole CoachTube course available if you want to go to CoachTube and get it off of that. Appreciate you guys' time, and I'll be back tomorrow with a little more on our strong belly.